Hey guys, it's me, Greg from LeGrand Drain Cleaning and Pressure Washing, Gainesville, Florida. And today we're going to talk blockages, gutter vac blockages. If you have a gutter vacuum, or any vacuum for that matter, there's always a bottleneck somewhere and something's going to clog up. So I'm going to show you some things that I'm doing to alleviate a lot of those problems. So stick with me. I'll be right back after a word from me, my sponsor. Welcome back everybody, and thank you Greg for sponsoring yourself. Hey guys, if you like my videos, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, leave some comments, and most of all share. And if you really love me, use the Amazon links or any links I provide and I'll get a small commission. Costs you nothing, but helps me make videos like this. So without further ado, let's get into it. When you're talking blockages of a vacuum cleaner, you know, you've all had a shop vac, you've all sucked up too much stuff. It blocked up the hose or it blocked up the entry into the vacuum or whatever. So basically what I did on my vac, if you look at my other videos, I made a different entryway into the inlet, and that worked out really well. So I've yet to have a clog at the drum of the vacuum or the inlet of the vacuum. The next, that's where this is, that's where this connects into. The next step is this one, which this does clog up every once in a while, and this connects to the end of your poles. I'll deal with that later. The next step is going up through the tubes. I have not yet had a clog in any of the tubes. Okay, the next step is this piece, and this piece can clog in two ways. One is here at the end, because you're sucking up too much, you get a big mass. And so that's easy. You turn the vacuum off, or you knock it against the gutter, or rub it against something, and that falls off. Or if you got big root mass or something, you bring it outside the gutter, turn the vacuum off, and it falls off. So what we're going to talk about today is this bend. This is a 130-degree bend. It's flexible. Okay. Now here in Florida, I do have some pine needles mixed in with my stuff. They will tend to shoot up here, and this is a real tight bend. So you know, they get up there, and not to mention other stuff, really bigger sticks or things like that. You know, small leaves, regular leaves, berries, those little seed thingies, no problems. But when this does get clogged up because of that tight bend, you know, you got to take the pole down, take that apart. Sometimes you can knock it and bang it around, but who really wants to do that? If you're wondering what kind of clog I'm talking about, well, let's just show you. So we'll set this camera down where I can turn it around. See up in there? Pull this out. And see up in there? So that's kind of a pain in the rear end. And we're going to take care of that. Yes, we are. See? I told you we would take care of it. So what I'm going to do is, this is 130. You can see it's going straight with that line. And then now I'm going to make a little bit bigger one. That's a different nozzle. I just put it to show the angle. So that bend is flexible. This bend is rigid. But if you notice the sweep here, it's a lot longer bend to go around and such a sharp turn. I'm hoping that if I make this, I won't have that problem. And to be flexible, what I'm going to do is I have an extra one of these. So I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to cut it there. And I'm going to jam it in there. It fits really, really tight in here. So one part will go here, then that will attach to the tubes. Then the other one will go up in there, and that'll attach. That'll attach. It does fit in there. It's real tight. That'll attach to the aluminum pole up there. And then, of course, the other end will attach to this. So what we have here is a 2-inch sweep. This is not a 90. It's a sweep. If you look at a 90, you know, regular plumbing 90, it'll go real sharp. This is a sweep. This is called a street L, okay, or a street elbow. That's a 2-inch also. So you're coming up this way, you know, this is going inside, so you have no lip to catch. Then the street L goes inside, you have no lip to catch. And then you come down here to this, and that'll be the first lip. But if you look in here, you see there's the whole 2-inch inside. That'll butt right up against that little frame in there, okay, that ledge in there. So you will hardly have any lip, then it'll come down and go to the pole as normal. And once it's there, I have no problems. So I'm going to try to cut these and then glue them in there, and I may duct tape them, and I'll show you what it looks like. And theoretically, much longer sweep bend radius, almost the same angle. I'll still have a little flexibility, you know, and it's a solid 2-inch versus, you know, a what's the word I'm looking for, a softer membrane here. So hopefully things won't, you know, hit there and stick as much. Okie dokie, so I got my pieces cut, and look at there, I cut that on the curb a little bit, and that one's up. So what I want to tell you is these two parts are the end that are square. Put those up in there so that they get a flush fit on that rim right there, and everything is solid. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little glue. I'm going to use some PVC glue. It may or may not work on this, and then I'm going to duct tape it just to be real good. If they fall out or something, I'll use some other glue, you know, and let you know. And that's all I can do for right now, but for demonstration purposes, this will work. Just make sure you use the square end going up there, and they're going to be tight going in that, into that coupling right there. On this joint, I'm not going to glue that. It fits in really, really tight. So I don't think I'm going to glue that, because if it, on chance it ever does block up, I could either pull that apart or I could just get a little piece of wire. But, you know, for right now, if it does happen to clog up, I can pull that apart. So we'll see how that works. I'm going to use some all-purpose glue. We're going to stick it right here in the end of this. Uh-oh. Got to do a retake. Glue is old, not coming out. Plan B, some Gorilla Glue. What could possibly go wrong there? Put me a small little bead. Just put a little small bleed in there. Now remember, like I told you, use the flush end, and they are tight, so it's going to be a hard squeeze to get them in there. But make sure it's seated all the way up. That feels pretty good. Now we'll do the other side. This may work or may not work. Like I'm saying, I'll tell you later if it does, but make sure you put the flat end again, put it all the way up. So worst comes to worst, I got me the duct tape. Let's just do a summary here real quick. So this is what it looks like. Put your hose clamp on, and that leaves some flexibility. I've already kind of moved it around there. You can't see that, but anywho, and this will do the same when you put this on. So you can see the angle is just a little bit different, but it does have some flexibility on both those joints. I don't know if that Gorilla Glue is going to take care of it, but the Redneck Fix-All will. And another nice thing is since this thing is wide enough, I don't know if you can see, the tape roll actually goes around in between. Do anything special. So yeah, it's ugly for right now. This is just a prototype, but man, it feels pretty tight. Of course, I got to jam that all the way in right there to really make that part tight. Boy, it ain't going anywhere. There you go. Look at that. Now, when you put this piece on, make sure this 90 is going that way, where the street L is this way. And when you put that on there, it's pretty tight. You just need to cover up those little slots just enough, and you got some flexibility. Oops, forgot the thingy. Got to take it back apart. And there you have it, kids. You can see the much different big bend versus a tight bend and a solid that's not quite as sticky as this stuff. And I still have flexibility. I don't know if you can see that. It flexes. So I'm going to let this dry up and see how it works. But hopefully that'll do a much better job. Not that it's not doing a good job now, but you know Uncle Greg, I'm always trying to squeak out the very most out of any product, or even trying to push it past what it's designed for and improve it. Ready for my little experiment. This is all the stuff that I sucked up. You can see it's a mixture of small and big leaves and little twigs and some pine needles. So all that sucked up caused that little thing to clog, you know, about 3 or 4 times. I really can't remember. So that's the vacuum, which it's not wet and muddy. You can see it just kind of went all the way around. That never clogged up, that little mod I made, which is good. So that's just dust, which I gotta clean off. But you know, I'm gonna dump all that into that, and then we're gonna hook it up and suck it up and see what happens. All right, so I've dumped all this out. I'm not gonna clean the filter. I'm gonna pretend like I'm just still at the job, and that's all the stuff that was in there. And you can see it's a mixture of stuff: leaves, twigs, sticks, pine needles, big, small. So we'll see how it sucks up. Looky there, it's an engineering technology marvel. Good thing I got me a college education, because I'm an engineering protege. Alrighty, so I'm going to try to mimic yesterday's job. I had 2 poles going up. That's the whole hose. And then of course the vacuum's over there, and it'll be running off of the generator. So no surprises here. Let's crank it up and see what happens. Now I'm going to have to do this with one hand. It's going to be goofy. That thing might fall apart because it's not glued. Let's crank it up, see what happens. All right, the generator's cranked up. I'm only going to run 2 motors, not 3, so I'm going to use the second and third. I'm trying to mimic the, you know, if you're in a gutter, you're going like that. That had to stop so I could turn that around. Okay, I had to stop, turn around again. Get the idea. So right now it's sucked everything up. I don't think anything is clogged up in here. Let's take this apart. Nope. So I do have a clog at the very end here. I'll bet you it's right there. We'll see. And on that, that's not up in the thing, so it's somewhere right in here. So if I was on the ground and using 2 hands, I would just come around here. I would take this apart. It's not clogged at the inlet. It's clogged right there at that next bottleneck. So all I would do is turn it back on and stick this end in here. And you'll see the hose jump when it clears. See that? And you're good to go. So it sucked that whole bucket up pretty much. You know, it was kind of weird because I was doing it with one hand and trying to, you know, move it around, but in the gutter you wouldn't have that. And in the beginning you saw me just pull the clumps off, but then you saw me just knock it against the bucket to clear the clog at the tip. So, you know, tip problems with everything because the tips in all the vacuums are smaller than the hose. So that's no big deal, especially when you're standing up. You just undo that coupling, turn it off, or in that case, just knock it against the gutter. But the whole pipe never clogged. Even that connection didn't clog. The only clog I had was way down there. You know, I'm sorry, where that pipe connects to that, it did clog. And that's the next project. So I would call that a success. Nothing stuck in there at all in the bends. And last time that whole thing, we had, you know, 3 or 4 things stuck in the bends. Good job, Greg. I think once I glue that thing together and I find the right way to make those connections, I'm going to have a winner. And what will be the result of that? There'll be no more gutter clog. Uh-oh, catastrophe warning, people. Oh my God, it's a crisis. It won't fit in the bag like the old one did. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Well, I gotta tell you, I just take it off and throw it in the box and reattach it every time. You know, that's a small price to pay for about 80% less blockages. So I'm happy so far, but more testing is required. And just to let you know, I always put the bottom pole like this, with this on the ground. Another little tip for you. And when I pull these out, I always put this side, you know, I put these up so this side touches the ground, so you don't have this side. See, that one got a little dented, getting dinged, you know, if you slam the pull down too hard. So 2 more little tips for you. Have a great day. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really hope you enjoyed them. If you have a comment or a question, leave it in the comments section below. I'll be glad to answer it as soon as I can, or maybe one of my subs will. But remember, please hit that subscribe button that's going to pop up, and YouTube is going to put more videos for you to watch over here. So enjoy yourself, grab the popcorn, and just remember, we really appreciate you being part of our family and subscribing to our channel. All the support you give us has been wonderful. So have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.